call like la and a high now you how about shin how shah machiya wa malaki about shin how wa kakuras baraka thumb the water bible ball upon yashrala. Double honor to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone and teachers daily. To the men out there teaching and likewise doctrine and city shop one. Today we're going to get into a couple of states, just Washington State and Minnesota, and what they're doing right now. They basically overstepping their boundaries as far as when it comes to parents and their children. They're basically telling these kids they can run away from their parents' homes and join these transitional institutions to become the opposite sex. And they don't have to tell their parents where they are. So they basically inviting kids to run away to join this establishment, and the state can actually hide them from their parents and write the decrees. Let me see if I can get that real quick. Jeremiah. This is it's like the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 1. War to them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievousness which they prescribe. Now let's go ahead and get in this video real quick. And it says, America says, F your parental rights. Let's get it.
Children in Washington state will soon not need their parents' permission to switch genders.
It really is an assault on parental rights. It's an assault on children.
The governor indicating he will sign the legislation into law, allowing kids to run away from home and seek gender-affirming care with no legal obligation for adults to contact their parents.
Instead of getting to the root cause and partnering with parents to get them real treatment, the state is stepping in and medically kidnapping children from their parents. They're promoting family separation is what it is.
Republican State Representative Jim Walsh firmly against the measure.
I don't think parents who are loving, supported parents who may be having an argument with their teenage child should be cut out of that child's life. I think that's very, very dangerous ground.
It's not only dangerous, it's wicked. Now let's get Job chapter 30, verse 8. They were the children of fools, your children of base men, they were violent in the earth. Describing Esau. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, one morsel of meat sold his birthright. And they're getting stupid too. Now let's get Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. It's not where and who is he? That's why all this stuff is allowed, because he is in control of the earth. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. That's why you got all these protests. Ain't nobody with this stuff that Esau doing these days. Everything he doing is wicked. And he got to the point where he's so proud, he don't care how he look now, because he tired of pretending to be the nice guy. He's transforming back into his former self, that wicked person, that wicked devil, that deceiver. He's tired of playing the role of nice and innocent. No, that's not him. It's wearing on him. Now let's get Psalms chapter 55, verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. Yeah, he talked that smooth shit behind that podium. But in all reality, he trying to figure out little ways to get you to destroy yourself. That's how he get down. Isaiah chapter 26, verse 10. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness will he deal unjustly, and will not behold the majesty of the Lord.
Utah State Senator Mike Kennedy's home was vandalized after he sponsored a bill banning gender-affirming surgery and puberty blockers for minors. Equality Utah, one of the state's biggest LGBTQ plus advocacy groups, putting out a statement condemning the vandalism, writing, quote, "These heinous acts do not help LGBTQ Utahns." Utah, one of at least 11 states to pass laws barring minors from receiving gender-affirming care.
The title itself is very misleading. You know, these patients are not being given true informed consent, and this is actually destructive care. The reason that there's so much pushback is we are seeing lives destroyed.
Last week, Minnesota lawmakers passing a bill.
Now, you see where America, for the majority, funnels their money. They funnel their money into wars, and also they funnel it at how to take your children away from you. Now, I don't know what it is about Esau and his infatuation with children, but I know that he's a natural-born pedophile and a natural-born sodomite. Because all this stuff is he too cool with it. He's natural. He's in natural agreement with it, if that's such a term. You see what I'm saying? Most of his money is going into wars, oppressing the people, and trying to figure out how to take your children. Sirach chapter 13, verse 4. If thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou hast nothing, he will forsake thee. See? Job chapter 30, verse 8. Once again, they were the children of fools, your children of base men. They were bowels in the earth. Now, let's keep going. This is the book of Deuteronomy, and all these are curses. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue shalt not understand. Verse 50, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 23. For while they slew their children, let me just get it. Slap it. You can get it out of your pocketbook. Because it's more, there's a little more meat on that bone. Let's see if I can get all of the meat. We're going to the Wisdom of Solomon and the Apocrypha. Okay, this is it, chapter 14. We start at verse 22. Moreover, this was not enough for them, that they have erred in the knowledge of Yahweh, but whereas they lived in the great war of ignorance, though so great plagues caused they peace. Verse 23. For whilst they slew their children in sacrifices, or used secret ceremonies, or made revelings of strange rites, verse 24. They kept neither lives nor marriages, nor any longer undefiled, but either one slew another treacherously or grieved him by adultery. Verse 25. So that there resigned in all men without exception blood, manslaughter, theft, dissimulation, corruption, unfaithfulness, tumult, perjury. Verse 26. Disquieting of good men, forgetfulness of good turns, defiling of souls, changing of kind. See, all this is happening right now. Disorder in marriages, adultery, and shameless uncleanliness. Verse 27. For the worshiping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil. Yeah, all this going on right now. See, but see, what they do is, where's that scripture? Here you go. Book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many without even firing a shot. Y'all just believing his bullshit and y'all being destroyed. Man. He shall also stand against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without a hand. Without firing a shot. If y'all believe his bullshit, y'all already destroyed.
Bill establishing the state as a trans refuge for kids denied gender care elsewhere.
More are fleeing their home states.
Look at this velociraptor. See, like I said in my last video, how can these nations respect America? How can they take this country serious when you got velociraptors like this running around, man? But this is Esau's true nature. This is his true state. This is his natural form. Natural born sodomite / pedophile. But see, he paints himself as all innocent and wanting the best for everybody and all this other bullshit he throw at you. The book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 15. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us. Now here's the point. For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. And that falsehood is revealing them because they're not the innocent, want the best for all like they claim to be. No, these are the wicked. Because they have no problem with doing shit like this, which is obviously against the Bible, against thus saith the Lord. Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 10. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbor, and he is not. That's because he's the one doing the robbing. Spoil means to rob. Psalm chapter 29, verse 27. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the ways an abomination to the wicked. Job chapter 30, verse 8. They were children of fools, your children of base men. They were vile in the earth. This is vile. Let's go.
Asking where they should turn. The organized political movement that has targeted my community is at work in every state that touches ours.
More than a dozen other states are currently considering implementing their own bans or restrictions on gender-affirming care for minors. In Washington, I'm Kayla Gaskins.
See? They're coming up with little policies to legally take away your children from you, to legally make your children rebel against you. Now, where in the Bible does it say to do that? To let you know these are the wicked. All this new speak, yeah, all this is bullshit. Because it's designed to confuse. Babylon means confusion. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 19, for the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. They're going to be taken by their own bullshit. Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Bible. I just read it. Book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Ain't nobody profane like him. Profane means outside the temple. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor sodomite of the sons of Israel. And all these trans people out here, they're trying to get you to go into it. You got to remember this. When you make that transition to the other side, you're going to be hooked on pharmaceuticals for the rest of your life. You're going to have hormone blockers, hormone shots, and everything to keep your body stable, because your body still thinks that it's its former self. For example, if you're a man transitioning into a woman, your body still thinks that it's a man. So you're gonna be fighting that physically, spiritually, and mentally. But see, Esau didn't tell you that. And then when China put the brakes on the pharmaceuticals, because we get 98% of our drugs that's prescriptions and over the counter from China. So when they pump the brakes on all that medicine, guess what you're gonna be going through? Withdrawals. And that's gonna turn you into a bigger abomination. Esau didn't tell you that. Y'all didn't read the fine print. That's what happened when you just believe all his bullshit. Now let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 1. He that is wounded in the stones, your balls, or he that have his privy member cut off, his rod, shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord. Esau didn't tell you that. But yet y'all steady running down there believing his bullshit. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 14. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. That's why Esau out here looking real stupid right now with the policies he's coming up with. The Lord is taking away his left hand wisdom. Isaiah chapter 3, verse 9. The show of their countenance does witness against them, and they declare their sin is Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Yes. Verse 11. Woe unto the wicked, it shall be well with them, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. Leviticus chapter 20, verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind, as he lied with the woman, both of them have committed an abomination, for they shall surely be put to death, their blood shall be upon them. Esau didn't tell you that, did he? No, he ain't gonna tell you that because he don't want you to think about it. He just wants you to make an impetuous decision based on his lies. Just like he ain't telling you that he's purposely crashing his dollars so you can make a uneducated decision to take his mark. He don't want you to do research, because if you do your research on what he's doing, you're gonna reject it. He don't want you to reject it. He want to catch you off guard so you will make a hasteful decision at the last minute. That's how he traps you. Let's get Ephesians chapter 5, verse 3. For fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be named among you as becoming saints. Meaning, don't let him get your ass out here doing what these other nations are doing. And that's for the Israelites. This whole book is for the Israelites. Romans chapter 1, verse 24. Wherefore Yahweh gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. Verse 26. For this cause Yahweh gave them up unto vile affections, but even the women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. Verse 27. And likewise also the man, leaving the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one toward another. Men work with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of that error which was meet. I mean, whatever you get, you deserve, whether it be a terminal disease or any kind of death. Yeah, you brought it upon yourself because he told you not to do it. Check this out, verse 29. Being filled with all unrighteousness. Hold up, look, let's go back to 28. And even as they did, And even as they did not like to retain Yahweh in their knowledge, Yahweh gave them over to a reprobate mind to do the things which are not convenient. Verse 29, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers. Verse 30, backbiters, haters of Yahweh, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents. See, that's what I was getting to. So the government is telling these children to be disobedient to their parents. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 17. He that is angry dealeth foolishly, and a man of wicked devices is hated. That's Esau. Sirach chapter 10, verse 3. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. Yeah, they're trying to figure out how to take your children legally. Psalm chapter 52, verse 2. The tongue devises mischief like a sharp razor working deceitfully. Verse 3, thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness a lie. Yeah, they're trying to make it seem like this is something that's good for the people. No. This one I was looking for. Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. They're trying to paint this as a good thing. No, this is wickedness. They're trying to take your children and have the ability, the power to do whatever they want to with your children. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as a potter's plate. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he hath no understanding? That's basically saying Esau trying to tell the Lord that we made a mistake on this. Let me fix that for you. No, you're gonna be destroyed, huh? Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20. It's 22. I can't read my handwriting. But the scripture is, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And the scorners delight in their scorning, and the fools hate knowledge. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well toward his going. Y'all believe the bullshit you want to. Job chapter 15, verse 35. They conceive mischief and bring forth vanity, and their belly prepareth deceit. And this is deceit, because this is not good. They gonna have their way with your children, and you ain't gonna know where they at, who they with, what they doing, and that's how Esau wants it. Remember Epstein Island? Yeah, take them way out so they can do whatever they want to and not be disturbed. And that's why they got so wide open with it, because they haven't been punished for it, not yet anyway. Sirach chapter 8, Salakia, Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. They just don't know. They didn't read, let's go drop down to verse 13. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days which are the shadow, because he feareth not before Yahweh. Jude chapter 1, verse 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Those nuclear men. We just one more we can close. One of my favorites, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 9, because it's coming real soon. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. The water Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh. Shout for that, because he is truly wearing out the saints. And I don't know how much more this bullshit we can take. But we praying through it. Lord, give us strength to endure to the end, so we can put the foot of vengeance up Esau's ass along with Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. Come on, Lord, how you now with Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, Hamashiach, wa Malaki by Hashem, Hawa, Wakakurash, Barakatham, the water, Bible, Baba, Kwam, Yasharam. Shalom.